Yeah, hi YouTubers, Spannerman here. Just another video for the beginners on how to file your chainsaw chain. So this is a very good close-up of what your tooth should look like. Uh, if we have a look here, this is the edge. The edge that we've got on the tooth is at 30 degrees. So you would hold your file parallel with that cutting edge. Two hands and file forwards. And when you get to the end, move out. We'll take the file away. Come back, nice strokes with a slight downward tilt on the file. And what you want to do is keep the file pushing that way as well as up. So when we put the file in there, you want to push the file towards the tooth and push up a little bit. You don't want to be pushing down, because when you push down, all you're going to do is file the bottom of the gullet. And if you actually look at that plate there, you'll find out that you don't file below that plate. So it's quite easy to see. So you've got to maintain that 30-degree angle on both teeth, left and right. So this is a left-hand tooth. This tooth over here is a right-hand tooth, and you may be able to see this file in here a little bit better. So if you look at that, it's almost perfect. So that's what you've got to try and do, maintain that profile. The other thing about this particular tooth, and you can see that radius on there, this is what you call a semi-chisel. Now the difference between a semi-chisel and a full chisel will come to almost a dead perfect right angle, where this has that couple of mil radius on it. The whole idea of that is that this cutting edge here is much more forgiving than a full chisel. A full chisel will come to a really sharp needle point, and if you hit any dirt or anything, the full chisel will blunten very, very quickly. So a full chisel will cut more aggressive, but it's very easy to get blunt. So this is an all-rounder chain to have, the semi-chisel, and it works quite well. Now the other thing to do is that after you've sharpened your chain, you need to check your rakers. Now you can see, I'll just point to it here, you can see the raker line here. So what that means is, do not file this raker below that line. So if we place this unit on top, and you can see that really clear, that raker does not protrude out of that gauge. Now as you grind down this edge here, the raker will start to protrude out. Now when the raker starts to protrude out, and if you get the file and you hold it flat and you can feel it, then it's a matter of getting the file in the raker just a little bit, 3-4 strokes, put the gauge on top, check your raker height. Now the gap, as you can see on the gauge, 0.65 millimeter. So what that means, that the top of this raker sits 0.065 millimeters below that top edge. So that's what that means. So just to recap, when you, we'll just zoom out there a little bit. So when you file a tooth, you hold this dead parallel to the tooth. With this hand, you hold the file, and when you push forward, you twist. So it's just a matter of putting it in there, lining it up, nice and straight, slight tilt down, twist, 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 twist. And you can see those metal filings. So if we zoom in, you can see those metal filings there quite easily. And you can see them even on top. What you want to do is make sure that you've got a good file, and this is a brand new file. So if you use an old file, it's very, very difficult to get a, they don't work too good with an old file, so make sure they're only worth a couple of dollars. Just go out and get yourself some new files and it'll make life easier. And you can see that beautiful shape, that nice gullet down there, and this top edge here. Now, this is your top edge. Now, these teeth are chrome plated on the top and also on the back. Now, this is also the other cutting edge on the side plate. That's your cutting edge there as well. So this is important that when you do file, that the file comes in contact with that cutting edge as well as this top cutting edge. You've got to make sure that you put the file in and it's parallel with the tooth and slightly tilt down, right? It is tilted down, but you can't, you can, it's got a slight tilt down. And as you push forwards, you also push backwards into the tooth and upwards as well. So that the file, what you're trying to achieve is that the file comes in contact with this leading edge. It comes in contact here, but you don't want to be pushing down, filing deep into the gullet, because that, if you get below this plate here, that means that the tooth won't be cut in wood. So I hope that video helps. It's just a small video on what your teeth should look like and how clean they should be. So yeah, because I found out that when I first got a chainsaw that I really didn't know much about how to sharpen in chains, and there wasn't a lot of information, or if there was no close-up views of the tooth and what it should really look like after it's sharpened. So that's what a tooth should look like. On Oregon chains, this is a steel chain, and on an Oregon chain you've got 25 degrees on this angle here, and on a steel chain it's 30 degrees. So look, the best advice I can give you, that if you've got a new chain, just follow the profile, keep the file in there and keep that profile. Don't try and make your own cut-in profile unless you're a professional and you know what you're doing. So this video is for the average person that just got a chainsaw that really doesn't know how to file, and I hope that the information contained in this video will help you become a better filer, and just make sure that you've got a new file every time that you use, that you're going to sharpen. When you're going to sharpen, just make sure that you do have a good file that's in really good condition, because as you can see here, metal particles come off quite easily with very little effort. So then you know your file's working good. So you don't have to put an enormous amount of pressure on the file to take metal away, and that's a clear indication that your file is in good condition. So I hope this video helps, and good luck filing your chains. Spannerman out.